This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Hello, a big warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Inquiry Weekend Podcast, where we've got the winners for you this weekend. We're buzzing, in fact, for this weekend's action. It's the Newbury Super Sprint rubbish and all that, but we've got some jumps for you twig hoppers, and I'm sure Andy might have got some things to say about the jumps at Rasen, maybe. That's all to come. We've got Andy Richmond on the show. We've got Nick Davis, John Lang, as always, my partner in crime. So, gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Let's get on to the best bets round, where, as regular listeners know, this is the 1, 2, 3 points. If you've not listened before, it is where we give our best bets, 1, 2, 3 points. There we go. On to the third best bets. That's the 1 point round. Nick Davis, I'm coming to you.
Right, I'm going to a Ripon. I'm pretty sure the going there are going to be soft. We got quite a bit of rain forecast, and I'm going to the famous bell ringer handicap. Looking at this, I think it's maybe between the top two. Sarumi, probably like a better pace. Pride of Prairie, Charging Thunder, Thundering might like it. A bit better ground. I'll make it between the top two, but I'm going with Dark Jedi, who is the outsider of the field here. He's got a very, very good course record, and he does win. Quite surprising for a horse that comes from behind. He's got a very good record in small fields there. He's 9-1 and the top's 15-8. So I think I'm going to row in with that one. Dark Jedi.
Interesting. Yeah, the old Dark Jedi for Duran. You love it, Duran, Nick. Tens with Paddy's. Betfair, yeah. Bet Victor and 888 for you, Nick. So plenty of value there. 1 point on the nose.
Yep.
Good start to the round with the big Ben strikes. 10. Jonas Lang.
7:45 Doncaster. I've been looking at the pace map here, and I think Mudema is going to be best place to challenge late. From just nicely off the pace. There's not going to be an absolute war and the pace collapse, but I think given the form of the stable as well, I think they trebled, was it yesterday or the day before?
Yep.
I think this horse has been thereabouts most of the season, been running reasonably well, and I think it's well worth a speculative point.
Whatever under Danny No Hope. Point on the nose, John. 12. Yeah. Lovely stuff, John. 10s and 12s start the round, always nice. Andy Richmond.
Right, I'm predictably going to go to Market Rasen. You knew I would.
Yeah.
And the big jump race, the summer, whatever they call it now, summer plate, isn't it? Now?
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to go right down the bottom. Obviously, respect the Bowen's record in this, with Frankie de Belay trying to win it for the third time in a row. He has got an incredibly good record. He's also got the other horse in there, was it Courtaulds in there as well. But I'm going to go right down the bottom. Born Famous, which has been turned around by Ian Jardine over hurdles and chases, won 2 of each. I don't really think she's reached a ceiling yet. This might be a step too far, but she's certainly worth a go at this sort of level. She travels like a dream throughout the race. I think she's, if anything else, she's a decent trading vehicle within the race. Has won the last 4 races, and Ian Jardine, when he brings horses back, this is quite an interesting little stat. When he brings his turf winners, flat or jumps, back within 21 days, he's got a tremendous record: 61 winners from 200 runners, which is a winners above expected figure of nearly 19. And if you'd have backed them all, you'd have made 71 points. So I'm going to go with Born Famous, who only cruised home from 2 rivals at Perth last time out. We'll find this very, very different, but I don't think she's reached got anywhere near the ceiling yet. She's chucked in there off a fairly low mark. So I'm going to have a point on Born Famous to end the Bowen dominance of the summer plate.
Good stuff, mate. 10-1 generally available with the very useful Harry Cobden on board. Wish you well there, mate. Going to mine, we go to Newbury in the Hackwood. the 3 o'clock race, where I am quite keen on the Dave Evans and Adam Kirby. He can just about make the weight at 9 stone 9, can old Adam. And at 13-2, generally available for Rohan. I think that's a little bit fair and a little bit on the big side. This horse, as we know, what he achieved last season, don't really need to advertise it. Bit of a damp squib for the start of the season, but I was very encouraged what I saw at Ascot last time. They clearly just rode the horse for a spin, if you like, dropped it to 5 at Ascot, and it made really good late gains and looked back on good terms with itself. And I think that's all you need. And tomorrow it's wind form. We love wind form. I think some rain might get into the ground. I think Newbury might be not due as much rain as what maybe the North will get. But certainly there's some rain around at Newbury tomorrow, so you could expect a little bit of cut in the ground, which will suit Rohan. Nice drop-out ride. He's next to the pace as well in terms of Comanche Falls cold case. I like that, so you can just sit behind and get a nice toe in. The original favourite, Lazoo, who's very weak in the market, he's out on the wing for the Tory on the far side. So I think that's not probably the best draw tomorrow. So 1 point win, Rohan, 13-2, generally available. That is my start to round 1. John, I'm going to come back to you for 2 points.
2-13-year market. Carolina Reaper, trained by the detestable Quilt. Basically, this unexpectedly tried to make all in the Chesham last time. Understandably, it failed. Now, I think it'll be a different proposition at this front end gasol tomorrow. There's plenty of experience under its belt. I think you need a bit of experience as well to cope with this surface. There are plenty of winners on the July course, 2-year-old winners, this outfit. And I think round about the 5-2 mark is quite reasonable about this.
Yeah, I think she can pick up one of these, John. I noted her on debut. It wasn't the greatest race at Beverley on debut, but I said it was the only one that out of the race that you could have any ability that had any ability for me. So, yeah, like it. 5-2 generally available for John's 2-pointer. Okay, I'll swing it back round to Andy Richmond. Come on, Andy.
Okay, we're going back to Market Raspberry.
Yeah,
240, where Fergal O'Brien, not as I saw him referred to in one form guide as Ferrell O'Brien.
Ferrell
O'Brien. I'm going to go with one of his 4 that he's running this handicap hurdle. The horse I was hoping he'd run in this hasn't tipped up, but Dan Siller has, and that one certainly made amends for not having the run of the race at Huntingdon when last seen, when gagging up at Newton Abbott last time out, winning with something to spare. I think this one is worth probably a higher mark than he's currently got. Could well be a sort of 130 plus horse. He's in tomorrow off 124. I still think this one's got a few pounds in hand. Actually won on the flat off a mark of 86, so you don't need to be a handicapping genius to work out that there might be a few pounds in hand. Paddy Brennan takes the ride. Hopefully he can just sneak round, and I quite like this one. So a couple of points on Dan Siller in the 240 at Market Rasen.
Yeah, can't knock that at all. 9-2, generally available. And I looked at the race myself, just try and dig out the odd jumps better too, just to change it up. But Dan Siller would certainly have been on my radar as well. I'm just not quite confident enough with the jumps form this summer to go whole hog, as I've been concentrating on the flat.
It's a good race. There's a few in there. Maristic has been running well. Certainly Manor Park, Brian Bart. Well, if Brian Bart allegedly is training them, but the yard whoever training them is in decent form. And Glorious Zoff, the other one of Ferrell's, is quite an interesting horse as well. But this Dan Siller absolutely cruised up last time. Ideal ride for Paddy Brennan. Sneak it into the race, round the inside. Hopefully do the business. Again, one you could probably quite easily trade as well.
Good stuff, mate. Okay, that's with 2 bets into the second round. John's 5-2 about the kilts and Dan Siller for Andy. Myself, I am going to Market Rasen. It is a rare foray into the jumps at the moment for me, but I know it's pretty obvious, and maybe people just say you're an idiot. I am, but Frankie de Burley, 9-2. The 5s has gone. But I still think, like if you play the game Saturdays and stuff, and you're able to get on at 5 places, I'll be if this doesn't fall down or get brought down, it's not going to be out of the 5. It was a lovely float up by the Bowens at the last meeting, wasn't it, Andy? He didn't even ask for any effort until the last.
They only had one race in mind, and that was it. I just wonder whether he's just got a touch too much weight against some of these now. There's one who sort of have been running really well, but as you say, if you can get 5 places, I mean, if you don't get brought down or fall over, and Sean Bowen is riding absolutely brilliantly at the moment, really, really well.
So that's my little each way. I just think that's a nice little safe play, and it's 1 point each way for me. I'm resigned to catching John and Quentin at the top of the naps, so I'm going to play it with a straight bat and try and build an innings for the rest of the season and see where we end up. So that's how I play it. So
you'll end up like Jeff Boycott knocking the fuck out of the missus in a hotel bathroom somewhere.
You're not playing baseball then.
No, but I've got to stop with about like Quentin and John has set such a hot pace this season that it's just I'd rather just give punters what I'd do myself and reflect that at the end of the season, trying to sort of look good on the scorecard if you like. So that's about it. I'm trying to get
the old red inker.
The old asterisk not out. So that's what I'm wanting. Right, Nick Davis. Finish the round.
Right, we're going to rip off again, ripping in the 5:05. Lots of pace there, but interesting, a lot of it's drawn wide. Spirit Catcher is drawn wide. Wob is drawn wide. And Garden Oasis is drawn. So they could end up going a little bit fast there. I normally like it from the front. Now I'm going to go with one that's been disappointing all year, and it's Horserace. He's a very, very in and out here, but he could have the ideal conditions there. He never actually, his races, his form guide at Ripon reads 1-3-1-1-2. He's well handicapped if he does come back to form. He's got an inside post. He may, you may sort of find a little bit of trouble in running, but I'm sure he's going to be in place. And I'm going to have a point each way.
Love it.
I had a lot of pace on in this, Nick. I think we'll see now. I really fancy yours in that.
Right,
yeah,
so
I've really.
Nick, that's 9-1 generally available. You happy with that?
Yeah, that's fine. Point each way. I can't see him at the frame.
It's 4 pegs as well.
4 pegs, yeah. I can't see out the frame there.
Yep, 4 pegs. Lovely finish to the 2-point round. Right, this is the best bets round. This is the one you want to focus on because this is our best stuff. I'll kick us off. I personally believe that this horse is as close to a good thing as what I've seen at the prices, but I know you're going to get better. So this is Betfair SP. I'm not going to recommend taking the price because the bookmakers are cutting them. They're very crafty, their books. They cut them too much. They draw you in. They're drawing the wagons in to take any price. They are. Because you'll see bigger prices near the off all the time. I mean, look at I'll just shamelessly plug it, the Edge Bet today. Recommended at 4-1 as a good price. It's gone off something like 8 point whatever on Betfair. It's the bookmakers are doing a great job at reeling people in, and they cut things too much. So, without further ado, 225 Newbury, Sweet William. This is a handicap blot, a complete blot. I do think you will get bigger on the machine, though, because, as I said, everyone just takes the prices, and that's it. It's currently 7-2 general. It's been 5s, and at 5-1, I'd have said, I'll take the bookmaker price. But this horse, the mad woman at Normandy Stud, she's having a cracking year. She's got Gregory. She's got all sorts, and she's having an amazing year. The mad woman.
She's got Lionel, where Sheikh Mohammed's got Princess Latifah.
Absolutely.
Radiator.
Yeah. So Sweet William. Obviously looked a bit of a tricky conveyance, but then the blinds went on. And then didn't look a tricky conveyance at all last time. In fact, absolutely just gagged up. And if you look at the action, you'd say that it just wants a little bit of cut in the ground and probably an extra step. I mean, he's sort of exposed over this trip. It's rated 88. It only got beat by St. George in a sprint, and that's obviously ran well in the Bahrain Trophy. 88 is an absolute laugh. We're laughing and giggling. We might not be with Rab Avlin on, but we're laughing and giggling at the 88. This is
the damn one over 2 miles on soft as well. I at 4 to 1, I would have made it a bet as well, but I know what you mean.
I think you might get that on the exchange, because obviously lots of runners, punters, as soon as you start getting to a short price, they can't work out value. It's like, well, is 11 to 4 good? Is 3's good? I don't know. And it's easier at bigger prices to work out value. So I just think this might just have a blob on the machine, and I'm hoping they do, because this is a serious bet. I'll be amazed if this run gets every chance and not a bad trip or a bad ride. If this doesn't win, I'll be shocked. Sweet William is a big bet for me, and I'll be lacing into the exchanges, as you know, because I can't get on to any significant amounts with any bookmakers. So I'll be on the shows, blasting away on Sweet William and hoping for the ride of his life from Rab. There you go, kick us off. John Lang.
You can have all this. Split stake wanker in time, I'm afraid, and it's in the 225 at Newbury. And the first one is, funnily enough, Sweet William. Pretty much for all the reasons that you mentioned. I won't drag it out. I'll just say there's 2 points win going on that.
Yeah.
And the other 1 point, as if I haven't backed enough reprehensible cunts today, I'm backing Paul Mulrennan on Yukon Glen, where he certainly didn't cover his selling glory at Haydock last time. He sat at the back leg of Lemon off an absolute crawl. Mm-hmm. This horse has hinted twice this season that he retains most of his ability. Firstly at Mussey in April, and then at Ayr the time before last. He's crashed down in the ratings over the last 12 months. There'll be a little bit of cut in the ground tomorrow. There's going to be more pace on. Obviously, Mulrennan's read the script. He's going to ride the same way he always rides the horse. I just couldn't bear the thought of backing Sweet William and this thing coming home over the top.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I put this one in. Otherwise, it'd have been 3 points win Sweet William. But I'm going 2-1.
Yeah, no, I can't fault you there at all. I agree. Yukon Glen is underrated on the last 2 runs. So 28 to 1.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, for John, one on the nose. Good start to this round. Nick Davis.
Well, I'm going over to the Curragh tomorrow in the Scurry Stakes and the Scurry Handicap. Now, often when Brits go over there in their sprints, we usually mup them up. I mean, they even got the badly handicapped Michaela's Boy to nearly win one over there. And there are 2 raiders over here. It's not as competitive at first look. You've got only 12 runners in the handicap, and I'm going split stakes with the 2 English raiders in Albashire, who has got some back form. It's been back now. You probably won't get sort of 6 to 1. It's 8 to 1.
No, you can. It's 6 to 1. Still bet 365. Coral Ladbroke, so you qualify.
But yeah, split stakes with that. And Colin Keane, a very eye-catching booker, and Strike Red, who's probably drawn very well and looked to be back at form behind just another bottle last time. So I'm having 1.5 points each.
1.5 point Strike Red at 12 to 1 general for Nick, and 1.5 points Albashire. 6 to 1, that's with Bet365, Coral and Ladbrokes. Fantastic, Nick. I love your Irish angle. I think you're correct when you said it in the past. You said you back the Irish stayers over in the UK, and you back the English sprinters when they go over to Ireland, or the UK sprinters when they go over to Ireland. I like it. Yeah. I like the angle. I think you're right. I don't know why that works. It just does. And Nick's said this for a while, and he's been profitable off it as well. Good luck with that, mate. Andy, finish us off.
Right, I'm going to go a bit. It's going to be a bit of a bore form here.
Bore form.
I'm going to oppose Nick in that bell ringer and go with Chillingham. It's a horse I really like. I think he'll make a really good jumper, actually. A winner of, I mean, he got pumped by Vauban last time out, but most things got pumped by that in that Copper Horse Handicap, where even off a marker 101, Mr. Mullins' horse looked well thrown in.
Yeah.
But Chillingham won 3 of his first 5 races. His last 2 over a mile and a half on heavy ground. So I won't worry if we do get a load of rain dumped on us. I just thought he was really keen early last time out. He got trapped he got trapped 3 horses wide. And as you know, if you get trapped wide on that 1 mile and 6 star Ascot, it doesn't really do you an awful lot of good because you've got that turn comes up straight away. The keenness didn't help his finishing effort, and neither did the fact that he didn't really get a clear shot with his finishing run either. A mile and 6 probably stretched him a little bit. I'd probably like to see him try that distance again, but if he gets a decent pace to run at here, he's pretty lightly raced. That was only his 6th start last time out. He's got to have some improvement against this lot, to be honest with you. I take on board that Nick's argument that Dark Jedi is well handicapped, but if he repeats that Ascot run, he wins this easily, and even at around 6 to 4, 2 to 1, something like that. I'm not really sure I like backing at those sort of odds, but he featured heavily in the beating the bias column about straight after Royal Ascot. So I felt on a day when I didn't really fancy an awful lot, I was going to go with Chillingham for the Ed Bethel yard, which is a yard I do really like actually.
Yeah, 15 to 8 generally available, Andy, for your 3 points, and I love a fav, and I think this is a pretty decent fav, to be honest. I'm not saying Nick's isn't value. I'm just saying that sometimes people just love a fav. Everyone loves a fav, a good fav, and Chillingham could be that. We'll see. So thank you, gents. That was a real cracking tipping session of good prices, good things mixed in. An asthmatic horse from me and John. We never fail to deliver the asthmatic horse. So lately we're doing well on that. So we enjoyed it. Right, it's TV race time. There's plenty of TV action, various venues. Fortunately, the ITV crew have ducked Haydock, and it saves everybody that's why it's evening meeting. They wouldn't have if it had been afternoon though. I've just noticed that now. I mean, I ain't studied Haydock yet, as you can tell. But
fortunately,
anyway.
they ducked that other gas pit, Newmarket, as well.
Yeah, the other watering Mettal, like you say, where they get showers.
Right. Pim's Bar, couldn't they?
You could.
Pim's Bar and have all the racing on the Rolling Mile, although we'll probably fuck that up soon as well.
No, but as John has always said, let's turn the July course into Polytrack and spray it green.
Or purple.
Yeah.
I second that. He'd still water it.
Yeah. He probably would actually. He'd try and create a rail bias or something, or I don't know, or something whatsoever. Right, anyway, let's go on to telly. We'll go Newbury first, and the opening one on the telly box is the 150 there, the Steventon Stakes, listed. Alazi is the 7 to 4 fav for the shirt. Any strong views here?
Well, this was put in the wrong price, wasn't it, at the start of the week? My God, we wrote sort of 6 early on.
Yeah.
You just couldn't, could you?
No.
And nobody has. So now it's suddenly I mean, that's its best shot to win, but what guarantees have you that the horse is going to be at its best? And also, Jim Crowley on a 5 in a race that might get messy certainly doesn't appeal to me. I thought probably Island Avenue would have this run to suit more than anything, because he could just sit on Dancing Magic's shoulder and go hell for leather 2.5 out.
Yeah, nothing interests me here at all. I'll be honest, it's not my sort of race. I agree with you, John. 7 to 4 now is a bit more appealing about the shirts, but like you say originally,
I mean, for me, if you go in there with 400 and it wins, you're more relieved you haven't lost the 400 and happy you've won the 7.
Exactly, yeah. Andy, Nick.
No.
Well, all the outsiders have been punted here. Everyone's been searching against it, haven't they? I mean, as I say, they originally went very, very sort of very, very short, and the outsider's been 25s, Dancing Magic's been 18s, Phantom Flight's been 14s. I'm not sure to make a race. It's a really horrible race to get involved in, isn't it?
It is. I think the problem with Phantom Flight is It won a race at York at the Ebo meeting. We were all on it. It were off 98, and it had the race run to suit. Everything went right in the run. Ends up winning 5 lengths, and obviously they had to go into listed class, and it's just being found a little bit wanting at this level.
I think PJ got a bit excited, didn't he? Had the winner at the Ebo rating.
Yeah, like winning by 5. I know he could have choked it down and won a length or something. But
I mean, it's a bit early to get the gin out, but you would, wouldn't you?
The gin out.
How is that early for me to get the gin out?
Yeah.
Any time after midday, it's not early.
Yeah, probably not actually.
I mean, me with the gin. I mean, I'm on a Saturday afternoon. Sometimes, if I'll give you an insight into my life. If there's no trades or like bet, and I just don't like the day, I genuinely do that. I'll sit there and I'm quite happily to just sup through the entire afternoon and fall asleep about 8 o'clock.
I tell you what, listeners, I've seen his gin collection and he's got them labelled, right? And there's 2 or 3 there that he's got labels on saying nice light breakfast gin.
Goes down well with Weatherbys.
Yeah. I'm all for it on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, hang on, we've got to tag Gambler in this. He's like
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Be gamble aware, but if you enjoy a drink on a Saturday afternoon, just sat there with a lovely. You can buy some great gins online. There's some. If anyone wants any tips, just DM me. I'll send you what I know. Honestly, there's some fantastic gins. And you can sit there, gin, and you get the pay out, a bit of duck liver or something like that. If you're in the mood, let the dog in, a bit of duck liver patty, maybe a bit of cheese as well. Saturday afternoons, fantastic. Anyway,
do you see that article in the Guardian, Lee, about they were saying, maybe is it a good idea to maybe limit people what they can drink each month?
It's starting, isn't it? It's started. I mean, this is it. It's like we're trying to stop everyone from doing. Well, basically, it's like whitewashing your house. It's like, let's white wall everything. Why? Because no, actually, no, it's not. Is it? You can't do it white because white's racist. So hang on, let's make it cream. You've got to cream wall your house. That's a neutralish colour, and that's it. There's no fun anymore. There's no.
Shouldn't you have to rainbow your house?
Rainbow it. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Probably.
Otherwise, there's another demographic getting left out, isn't there?
Yeah, let's hope the Jockey Club and BHA don't spend another 1.6 million on Jermaine's penis to do an advert running round and saying how great racing is. Anyway, that's we're going into sermon territory. 225, yeah, 225. The sweet William of me and John, we're absolutely bouncing on this. We'll be getting the hobby horse out. The gin out and running around the room if this wins, because the money will be flowing on it. Andy and Nick, your thoughts on this race?
Well, as I said, I was gonna put it up at day 4. With half brother at Hurricane Lane. Anyone who saw it win at Doncaster last time, you just mark it down, and then you look at the breeding and what the dam did as over 2 miles as on soft ground.
Yeah.
And you think, there could be more improvement. You look at the handicap rating of the thing that beat it at Southall, Castle Way, is it? St George, yeah.
St George, yeah.
Yeah, St George. And then you think this could have it. I mean, a lot of these have, they've got no secrets really from the handicapper. And this might have a lot of secrets from the handicapper. So
if he gets it put up a stone, it might get in the Ebo.
Yeah, but it's in the Ebo. It's got the product, he get a penalty now, won't he? So he's got to win this, and then
he'll need a £14 penalty, won't he?
He'll need 2. He might do what Price did. Do you remember Brian Price?
Run twice.
It won once, and then it went to Goodwood, and it won the Southern Handicap, which was the William North Southern, and then it went on with 2 penalties to.
Double penalties to piss up.
He still won. It ended up in the French Ledger, hardly being beaten by Buckskin, or was it? I can't remember.
Crow, wasn't it? Was it Crow?
Oh, I can't remember. No, it went. I'll have to look at it. It ended up in the French St Ledger. What kind of certainty was it that after that? Day? But anyway, yes.
And listeners, if you want to know the lesson here, don't owe Nick or John money. They have memory like elephants. It's that simple. Yeah, I mean, some great history there, chap. So yeah, I like the thoughts of this. This could be a monumental punt. Probably knowing my luck, it'll go off 6-4 Betfair SP. But anyway, Andy Richmond, anything to add?
Well, there's a couple in there that I say whether I go over the cliff. I don't think Nathaniel Green's any particular value, but
no,
I just wonder whether the old blinkers might work on him. But the price is desperately short. The one that, apart from Sweet William, I thought was still quite interesting was Novel Legend.
Yes.
Didn't really get the race run to suit in the Ascot Stakes last month. Probably be suited by a much stronger gallop than he's going to get here. And he might be, if you're looking for one other that is probably maybe a little bit underrated off 94, then that might be the one. But you're going to have to go some to beat Sweet William off 88.
Yes, I think so. You're right with Novel Legend, though. If the rain comes, that's also pretty dangerous. It's going to... I'm not saying it can beat the Gosling horse, but it will be very threatening. Right, the Hackwood, 3 o'clock. Obviously, I've tipped here, so I'll stay silent. Rohan, any view here, chaps?
This is a very, very funny race. I mean, at first glance, you look at it and you think, but then, do you make the case that the 3-year-olds are really good? I mean, you've had Bradshaws win the King's Stand and Shaquille win the July Cup. So are the 3-year-old sprinters really good? The faster the ground, you have Rumstar in it. I don't know much about Lazoo that much. I'm a little bit iffy about that. I mean, Cold Case beat Bradshaws out of sight at Ascot, and he'll love any cut in the ground. I mean, he was away from the action at Haydock last time, wasn't he? He was in the middle.
Yeah.
When Little Big Bear had the Golden Highway. Before that, I mean, his form does look solid until that. But it's a funny old race. But I'm just looking at the 3-year-old angle that they could be a decent bunch of sprinters. They've won both the Group 1s, haven't they?
You make a very good point there. Absolutely. Why not? Indeed. Like I said, the only thing I would say, if something Cold Case especially, I think I'd rather back that at 10-1 than Lazoo at 11-2. Wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, especially. Yeah. I think he'll need a bit more rain though. Where there is some rain forecast, I'd like to see good to soft for him. Yeah. But if it doesn't rain, I mean, the other one, Rumstar could. I think that needs it a bit faster. But Cold Case would probably be on good to soft or good to soft. That could run a race. Yeah.
Good stuff. Andy, anything in this for you?
I wouldn't back. Well, I wanted to be against Lazoo, but not at that price. But I still wouldn't be backing it. I mean, her juvenile form's really good, but has she trained on?
Well, that's it. She.
I'm not really, I wouldn't be. You wouldn't be confident. I like Nick Cold Case. You could make a pretty decent case. I mean, he won that Commonwealth Cup trial, didn't he, earlier in the year? And then the effort at Haydock. I mean, for once the conditions were just too quick for him there, and I just think he's probably a little bit overpriced. And I did think before it's been smashed up now, Rohan must have a chance because I'm not sure that was off a yard last time out, to be honest with you.
No, I think they were just trying to get the horse sort of like back in the zone, if you like. And it kind of worked. Yeah,
so if I had to have a cop, I'm not sure that Rohan around sort of, I don't know, what is he, 6-7-1 at the moment, hoping to be a bit bigger. Cold Case you can make a decent case for, and Lazoo, well, if you're going to lay that one, lay it in the place market, because it's either going to, I don't like the draw, I must admit, in stall 1.
Yeah, stall 1, it's on the wing.
Like at all. If you're going to lay it, I'd lay it in the place market. And just if it's going to blow out, it'll blow out totally. I'm not sure she's trained on.
Yeah.
But not a race I want to get heavily involved with. But 2 against the field for me would be Cold Case and Rohan, and small lay in the place market on Lazoo, because I just don't think she's trained on.
Yep, agreed 100% with that. John?
I'm a little better than that. I just think going back up to 6 is a good move. Yards in raspberry form, as I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
I think even last run over 6 behind as they were doing the up-alongs was quite a good run, really, in the context of this. I think 10-1's pretty fair.
It is. Would you be slightly worried if the ground got tested?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the only way I'd knock your bet. If the ground got really shit, that's when I wouldn't want to be on. Other than that, I'd want to be on. And Stott will be under orders from Megs, of course.
Absolutely. Need to go baseball cap for Saturday, won't she?
Yeah, designer one. Yeah, costing plenty.
Diamante Rasen.
3:35 Newbury. It's the super sprint. Well, it's not super really. It's shit.
It's a shit sprint.
But 6-4 relief rally for the shirt. I mean, it's got everything going for it, but
Is the pace low? Is there more pace low in here? I looked at this. Is there more pace low?
There is, yeah.
Berry, and there's a couple more in there that can go forward.
The interesting thing, though, is the headwind at Newbury tomorrow. You've got a 19 mph, almost direct head tomorrow. So you just...
love a bit of direct head. Wow. Is it still normal face to get in? Just getting direct head.
You get just a direct head tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, at the Berkshire venue.
6-hour drive, fuck it, I'm going.
Yeah, so any opinion on this, chap?
I mean,
you like Largarita, John, as a horse?
I tell you what, we were discussing this last night on the thread on Twitter, weren't we? Like,
yeah.
And I put the copy and paste job of Hannon's comment that she didn't run really well in the Chesham, but she's fast. What the fucking hell was she doing in the Chesham?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What a blithering idiot. What are these people doing? You know what I mean? How does anybody send them off when you can read shite like that in the Racing Post? You know? As though this is just what she wants now. Oh, we're jumping back to fire, we're in business here. Well, very good, Mr. Hannon. What the hell were you doing 4 weeks ago, you bloody clown?
He's certainly a trainer that I can't have at the moment. He's on my Richard Hughes list.
Ugh.
It's just, I can't have him. Can't have him.
That's a proper naughty list, that as well, isn't it? A Richard Hughes list.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. He's just regressed for me as a trainer. I just think, I don't know if it's placing. I don't know if it is, but you've just said it. It's placing. Yeah. You've just said it. Yeah, that's it. So Richard Allen certainly won on the avoid list for me on most occasions, unless I think he's got it right, which I think he rarely does. I think he's an idiot. Not a patch on his old man. But then they probably rarely are, unless you're Charlie Johnson. Right. They're about the same.
Yeah, you have to be shit.
Right, move on. Andy, Nick, serious views on the Super Sprint.
Well, I mean, it looks easy, but it looks easy. But you've had half a dozen winners at 14-1 or bigger since 2008.
Yes.
So it's just not, and we've had a few turned over. I looked at, what's this got a rating of 106, isn't it? You've had a few North rated higher than that turned over at this. I can think of Chipotle that got turned over, Vintage Clarence. Yeah. Ventura Rebel, a Toto, they all got knackered, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the draw from over the years, it's been middle to high, but I'm completely convinced about that. Yeah, in the end, I thought, well, there were three I quite liked at bigger prices. One was Benham, who for the Millmans, who are very, very shrewd, especially in this race, because they've done well in this race. They've booked Oshin for this, and they avoided Royal Ascot, so I thought I'd have a pop at that. And Rosario was the other one.
It's impressive, that on debut.
Yeah, and again, I just thought it was one of those races, rather than sort of laying the favourite. I mean, the top four in the betting, Relief Rally, Bobsleigh, Son of Corbalis and Juniper Berry's all Royal Ascot. You can make a case for all of them, but I just thought there was one or two that were bigger prices. If Heed the Call wasn't in trap one, I'd probably back that as well, but I don't really like stall one. And Lagarida got on the shortlist, but that's in stall two. So a couple of pokes at a big price against the field, Rosario and Beanham. I mean, they're both like 20-1 what I'm looking at here. So I'd rather try and back those, even with still someone to be offering extended places. But it's not a question of just come. I mean, if you read the Royal Ascot form for Relief Rally, should win easy, but doesn't always work out like that.
No, it doesn't. And obviously, we track variances and so forth. So I can't fault you for playing at big prices. And that was well touted, Rosario. I had the nod before debut. I didn't back it because I'm an idiot, but I had the nod before debut and it won. Roger Teal's stats on debut were terrible, so I went, I'm not backing that, and then it pisses up. So that's another thing, Andy. Right? So Roger Teal on debut is shit. And yet that's pissed up, and then there you go, tipping itself there from Andy.
I mean, it used to be, wasn't it, Brian Meehan's? There was it Brian Meehan or a few trainers who are not very good if their horses win on debut when they've got a poor record. It's usually one that Tim Easterby's the other one. If he gets a 2-year-old to win first time up, they're usually quite useful.
Indeed. I tell you what, he's doing well if he gets one to win 11th time up this year.
Well, yeah,
he's got a yard full of shit.
Yeah, I think over the past month, when I looked at the trainers who had runners today, he'd had the most runners in the past month, and a really, really bad winners below expected. But one of the worst was the Sporran. Absolutely terrible at the moment. About 7 winners below where he should be on SP. So if anybody's, I'm sure someone's going to come up with that to say, oh, he's had a load of winners. Well, he's had quite a few winners, but he should have had. So put it in context.
Yes, good stuff, mate. Right. Before we come on to Market Rasen, obviously, which me, Nick, and John have no opinion on whatsoever. So you can finish the show, Andy, because obviously it's a sacrilege.
I actually looked. There was one in the 215 Market Rasen.
Well, save it, Nick, because we'll come to Market Rasen.
Yeah, I looked at it and I thought,
oh, you fuckers, you wouldn't spoil it, wouldn't you? It's only Andy that's got any clue. Anyway, right. So right, coming on to the Irish Oaks, we've got to cover that. We've got to cover it, right? Surely, with the rain and shit that's going to come down there tomorrow.
Shit, which difference with it? It's the rain that will.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's going to be slopped up. Oh, it's raining now. It's raining. Rain. Oh, this is going to be absolute. Mega. It's proper Irish weather. Yeah. Well, surely then, the Brian Moore Fav, it's going to win by 614 lengths, isn't it?
Well, you're betting the distance, won't you?
You do. That's what you actually do. That's the advice. Fuck the 10 to 11. You just say, right, we'll do a blogger bet here. Blogger special. You know, how many? This will win easy. Bloody well. Right, back it by more than 3.5 lengths. This will win by a Tour de France distance. Certainly, this is a good thing in soft ground. It's a suit monster. We said that. That's why it got beat at Epsom. It's a good horse anyway. She's a good horse, but she couldn't match the Turner Foot of Soul Sister. But on this ground, nothing beats her whatsoever.
She'll lap this lot, won't she?
Yep. Honestly, this is the one now. This is where the lads might pile in here. There'd be some £200,000 bets through Asia and India.
Yeah,
floating through the system. Yeah. Yeah, they've still got it, the lads. They can force one in. So yeah, I can see this going off 8 to 13, something like that. When everyone realises, it's a bog, it's a shit pit. Thoughts on this, chaps?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of one of those. It turns up and it wins, and here we go. Well, and then Aidan talks to someone on the mobile phone, and we're all yawning, and
they're all looking forward to the arc.
Until when it's beat, Nick will send me a DM and he'll say, "I've got the 7. I don't want the 4."
Yeah.
He's a bastard like that. Every other, if I like an odds-on shot, and I'll say, I fancy this odds-on shot today, Nick will go,
well, she'll win this out of the track and get dicked at, won't she?
Yeah.
He's actually only won one of the last 6 Irish Oaks.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The hell else is racing?
He'll be on the phone. He'll have thanked everyone, won't he? On the phone.
Oh yeah, this will be better than Augusta Road and after it. But yeah, that's what they do. He loves it. The old interviews. Ryan Moore even smiles over there. He doesn't smile when he's at UK. I can understand why though.
I think they give him a little whiff or something before they put him on over there.
Yeah. Right, let's go into the twig hoppers then. A few twig hopper fans. And even John and Nick have put effort in this week, which is incredible. On jumps racing, it's unheard of. So, okay, we'll come to
2:15, the first race. It ran
the
the flat.
205, yes.
Oh,
205.
2:05, yeah. Appreciate it's been quite well backed. It's running the flat. They did this last year on the flat, and then it on August, and it won a few days after. And it's backed up very quickly, about 3 times. It's won up for a 4-day break, an 8-day break, an 8-day break. About 10 days ago, it won on the flat, and it's been backed here. Bradley Harris on for Milton. I just thought of if our resident Andy thought anything about it.
It's not a horse I'm particularly keen on, I must admit. I think it's a bit of a hound, to be honest with you.
Woof, woof.
But it's woof, woof. But to be honest with you, this is a horrible race. Really horrible. If I had to back one in it, it would be Wavering Down. But I really don't. This is the one race boys, there's better racing this they could have put on. They could have had the Crystal Cup from Cartmel on. Could have banged that on rather than this. It's not a great race. I must admit, I don't like Appreciate. Fenner's Loss has been running well. Wavering Down's got a chance. Pink Eyed Pedro's well handicapped. They're all basically running a little bit out of their grade because it'll be a good pot for some of them to win. I can tell you that. If I had to back one, it'd be Wavering Down, but it would be very little confidence. I think this is probably that was a horrible race.
John?
No, that's a good bet here.
All right.
Plot Horse.
Ooh.
Dringet.
Oh, the Ellison thing, yeah.
Irish. Probably still Irish.
Yeah, Douglas Taylor. Yeah, oh wow, yeah.
One by Ben Robinson's missus.
Yes. Yes, Jessica Robinson. That's Ben Robinson's wife. That is also Brian Ellison's daughter-in-law, and obviously Claire Ellison's daughter. That's
bollocks on this.
Do you know what? Wow, I spotted that. God, I'm shit. Yeah, look at that. Wow. So look at the prices. Being 2 points, 125s, hundreds and hundreds, right? Trained by CWJ Farrell to Brian Ellison and stuck in, right, instead of Dougie Taylor, which is obviously the big known gambler, Brian Hughes is booked, and all of a sudden it's, in the oh my God.
She's up, man.
Oh my God. That's it. Oh, Andy, get going.
Yeah, I'm not. I've just taken up prices.
Yeah. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, wow. Just seen it.
Yeah, look at that. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
The 2-1 fucking sportsbook.
This might go 5-4.
I think it should.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Interesting indeed. Yeah. Wow.
Asking for it to get it.
Yeah. You overnighters are laughing.
11-1 with Port Vale.
Yeah, overnighters are laughing here. They're absolutely bouncing. Yeah, so I'll have to stare at 2.38 on off. 240. I've had enough of that now. 240. Dan Siller, obviously mentioned by Andy, and I was close to sort of like I was oohing and ahhing between this and Bowen's, like in the plate. But I just wanted to ask Andy first of all before he goes into his preview on this. I also like Mary Steaker a little bit. I thought she's like, because she was highly, 84 on the flat, and she's been doing it all right in novice hurdles. I thought like she hadn't been stretched yet, really. What did you think to her?
The form started to work out quite well on her as well, because the second, the thing that ran second, Ali Highs.
Ali Highs, yeah.
That won the other day. That won at Worcester. And there's a few behind that who certainly weren't, certainly worth having a look at as well. So it has been running well. Belvedere Blast has been going from the front. It's okay, but I think it's a little bit up in grade here. Too Friendly, I think it's a little bit doggy, but he's done a good job to turn that around because it used to pull like a pig in train when it was with the Skeltons. And that James Owens got hold of it. He's a good trainer, him, a point-to-point trainer. But he's got a little team of jumpers, mostly for the Gredleys, and he's done really well with them. Everyone's game's been running pretty well. Can't see Gavin winning. Glorious Soft got a shocker of a ride last time out. The 14s with Port Vale is way overpriced on that. As I say, Manor Park for Brian Barr, that yard's been going well, whoever's training them. Can't see anything outside of that. But, yeah, Dan Siller was the one I liked, but you'd have to respect. The two others to respect in that would be Maristica and the other Fergal O'Brien horse, Glorious off. But Dan Siller was the one I came down on the side of. Certainly got the hallmarks of being better than its mark. And as I say, it was a decent flat horse as well.
Good stuff, mate. Nick and John, anything to add to this?
No.
No, that's it. We can swiftly move on. 3:15, the Market Rasen finale on the telly box, which is the summer play. I've tipped Frankie de Burley, Mr. Obvious, and Andy has tipped up Born Famous for the Ian Jardine yard with Harry Cobden on. That was Indian. 10-1.
Is it Ian Jardine or Indian Jardine?
Indian Jardine.
Yeah, awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
We should get Brian Arnold on the show. He's fun. He does TikTok impressions and shit like that. He could do.
Does he do Indian Jardine?
Indian Jardine. Yeah, it'd be funny. Brian Arnold, if you're listening. Yeah. Anyway, right on to this one. So me and Andy have tipped. I'll get Andy's in-depth preview after you two. Any views, John and Nick, on this?
No.
Straight, Andy. It's your show to round off.
It's my show, is it? Well,
yeah.
I mean, you've made a good case for Frankie de Burley. Comes in looking for a hat trick in the contest. They've done really well in this contest, haven't they? Cortland is another one. He's been running really well. He's here on a 4-timer as well. I just like Bournemouth. I just think there's a lot of that, and I do like the way Harry of the two jockeys who've been riding really well over the summer, Cobden and Sean Bowen, absolutely really riding well at the moment. And the new would have a chance, but it's a little bit old. Nothing that old's won this before.
They've done really well with it this season, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, I think if they get the breaks or don't get the breaks is the thing. One of those two should be champion jockey. I think they just need to get the ammo riding, but certainly deserve to be. Northern Bound's a horse to keep an eye on. Why they keep running it over 2 miles 5, I've got absolutely no idea. But Ben Pauling's been in absolutely brilliant form. I think that could get in the shake. If it was a bit shorter, I'd be quite interested because it travels really well into its race. I don't think it quite gets home. Glory Dathon should make a bold bid, but 133 is getting a bit high now. La Dominali won last time out. Wouldn't take that one too lightly. And the other really interesting one is this Chief Black Robe, which is a really real improver for the Fergal O'Brien yard. He's already completed a 4-timer at Worcester the other day. The race didn't work out. It was a small field last time out, and it didn't really work out for him, but he still won. You could make an argument that he's a bit like Born Famous, and he's almost twice the price as well. I nearly stuck him up, to be honest with you, because you don't quite know how good this horse could be. And if he's a daft price at 16s plus, I'm still going to back this one as well in the race because you just don't know how good he could be. 1-2-1, they might have found him out, but I've got a feeling he might be a little bit better than that. Good race, interesting race, plenty in it. Respect Frankie de Burley, respect the Bowen horses. But if I had to back a couple of prices, it would be Born Famous and Chief Black Robe down the bottom. Tom Broughton, who rides Chief Black Robe, rides the horse really well, gets on really, really well with him. Again, another strong traveller. He's up in grade like a lot of them are here. You find that in summer jumps, don't you? You get the odd good race, and most have been running in shit races, whereas Frankie de Burley has been running in much better, has run in much better races than this in the past, and he's won this twice. And I say it was a bit of a float up behind And the New last time out. And he has got a handy looking marker 140, so wouldn't leave him out. If you're a solid each way merchant, I'd go with Frankie de Burley. If you want to take a bit of a punt at it, Chief Black Robe and Born Famous.
Super stuff, John. What are you doing there?
Hey?
Getting the tablets out.
I'm just opening a Mars Bar Triple Treat.
Nice. What's happened to the ice creams?
What's caramel? What about caramel? Are you bored with them now?
Yeah, I mean, these now. Mars bar triple treat. It's like a flapjack, but it's got a sort of Mars bar flavour to it. It's dead good.
Mars bar triple treat.
Yeah.
I've been having onion bargies with yogurt and sweet chilli mixed together in a dip. They're rather nice.
Lovely stuff. Gin for me. Fuck you all. Right, that's it. This has been a great show. Andy, that was a great roundup of the Premier Race at Market Racing, so thank you for that, and thank you all for a great show. As always, listen to the Bar Stewards, and if you can, subscribe to Patreon. The content's amazing. It's from £7. It's nothing. £7 is not anything, and you will get lots of betting information and content for that. And also, if you want to subscribe to The Edge, that's £37, and you get a little bit more than that in terms of you get some proper good tips like the one today that's pissed up. That's all from us. Bye for me, John, Nick and Andy.